Right then, you bunch of petrol heads. Today, we're talking about something that actually functions off-road. Unlike that electric thing Hammond tried to drive through the Amazon. We're on about proper bikes, the kind that laugh in the face of mud, sneer at sand, and make gravel their, well, gravel. We've got a right corker of a list for you. 10 of the best off-road bikes you can throw a leg over. Whether you're a seasoned dirt warrior or just itching to swap tarmac for something a bit more challenging, these beasts will leave you grinning like a loon. So, strap yourselves in, because this is going to be a bumpy ride. First up, we have a bike that's more at home in the dirt than a badger in a burrow. This, my friends, is the KTM 450 XCF, a machine so potent in the rough stuff it makes other bikes look like mobility scooters. The engine, oh that engine. It's got more torque than a planet-sized wrench, and enough power to pull a house down. The handling? Sharp as a tack, nimble as a gazelle, and about as much fun as you can have with your trousers on. Next, we've got a bike that's been around the block a few times but still packs a hell of a punch. The Yamaha WR 450F. This thing is like the dependable friend who always shows up for a good time no matter how muddy it gets. It's got a reputation for reliability that's as solid as a rock. And the suspension, well, it's so good it'll make you think you're floating on a cloud. A very fast, very muddy cloud. Now for a bit of Japanese engineering brilliance, the Honda CRF 450R. You know when Honda builds something they don't mess about. This thing is as reliable as the sunrise and about as likely to let you down. It's got an engine that's smooth as butter and just as eager to please. Plus it handles like it's on rails, even when there are no rails in sight. Which, let's face it, is most of the time when you're off-road. Chapter 4, Suzuki RMZ 450, the Yellow Peril. Next up we have a bike that's won more awards than I've had hot dinners, and that's saying something. This, my friends, is the Suzuki RMZ 450. It's got a frame that's stiffer than my upper lip after a pint of ale, and an engine that's as responsive as a startled cat. It's a proper thoroughbred, this one, and it'll leave you wanting more after every ride. Chapter 5, Kawasaki KX 450, the Green Goblin. Now for a bit of lime green loveliness. This is the Kawasaki KX 450, a bike that's tougher than a week-old baguette and twice as exciting. It's got a reputation for being as reliable as a Swiss watch and just as precise. This bike is built for those who like to push the limits, to ride hard and fast without a care in the world. Chapter 6, Husqvarna Fe 501, Swedish Symphony. Next we have a bike that's as stylish as it is capable. This, my friends, is the Husqvarna FE 501, a machine that's as happy on the trails as it is turning heads in the city. Don't let the good looks fool you though, this bike is a proper weapon off-road. It's got an engine that's smoother than silk and just as luxurious. Plus it handles like a dream, soaking up bumps like they're not even there. Chapter 7, Beta 430 RRS, Italian Stallion. Now for something a bit different. This is the Beta 430 RRS, and it hails from the land of pasta, pizza, and passionate people. Like a fine Italian sports car, this bike is all about passion and performance. It's got a unique engine that's punchy and responsive, and the handling is as sharp as a Sicilian chef's knife. Plus, it's got a certain Italian flair that you just don't get from other bikes. Chapter 8. Next up we have a bike that's a bit of an underdog, but don't let that fool you, it's got some serious bite. This is the Sherco 450 CFR, and it's here to prove that the French can build more than just fancy cheese and wine. This bike is all about value for money. It's got all the performance of the big boys, but at a price that won't make your wallet cry. Plus it's got a certain je ne sais quoi that makes it stand out from the crowd. Chapter 9. Now for a bike that's as red as a matador's cape and just as exciting. This is the GasGas EC450F, and it's here to inject a bit of Spanish passion into your life. This bike is all about fun. It's got a playful engine that loves to be revved, and the handling is as nimble as a flamenco dancer. Plus, it's got a certain Spanish flair that makes it stand out from the crowd. Chapter 10. Finally we have a bike that's as exclusive as it is brilliant. This, my friends, is the TMN 450, a bike that's hand-built in Italy with more love and attention than a prize-winning poodle. This bike is a masterpiece. It's got an engine that's more powerful than a rocket-powered espresso machine and handles like it's on rails. It's not cheap, but if you want the best, you've got to pay for it. Well, there you have it, you bunch of mud-loving maniacs. 10 of the best off-road bikes on the planet, each one ready to whisk you away on an adventure you'll never forget. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Top Gear-tastic content. And most importantly, let me know in the comments below which one of these beauties you'd choose for your off-road adventure. Personally, I'd take the KTM, but then, I always did like a bit of orange.